This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IP Livecast. In the news this week, a train carrying toxic chemicals derailed and released those toxins all over East Palestine, Ohio. If that's a crime, the hosts of the show you're about to hear should be wearing orange jumpsuits and facing a war tribunal. Our IP Livecast starts now.
How dare you? Oh boy. Classy start to our podcast.
Classy fart.
A classy start to episode 711. We did it, folks.
This
episode is not. Yeah, this episode is not sponsored by 7-Eleven, but we'll gladly take a Wawa endorsement. Or hey, if 7-Eleven wants to give us some 7-Eleven bucks or whatever they're called. Welcome to RIP Livecast. It's Rob here with Sid and Darren.
Hey.
We're here live every Saturday afternoon at around noon Eastern time, live on Twitch and on YouTube. And of course, you can download the episodes whenever you want, wherever you get your fine podcast. And if you love the show and you want to show us a little bit of support, throw us a few bucks. Patreon.com/RIP Livecast. $5 a month gets you 2 bonus episodes a month, gets you a weekly television column from Sydney, gets you a nice little badge on our Discord, which you should also join and hang out with us. That's free. And we always appreciate the support.
I'm not in the habit of saying nice things about Philadelphia, but Wawa is a joy. It's wonderful.
I don't know that I've ever been.
It's good. It's very good for what it is, but I do feel like it gets a little too, the culture around it is a little much for what it is. Like, people fucking love Wawa. And then there's people in upstate New York
Wegmans
that feud with the Wawans. No, because they're about sheets. And for those of you
I've never heard of that one.
For those of you who don't live in the Northeast, what we're talking about is essentially a gas station deli.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Wawa is the epitome. It's the perfect creation of a gas station deli. It's fresh
It is
food.
the top tier of gas station deli food. But if you take a step back, see the forest from the trees, you're still at a fucking gas station deli.
Agree.
Okay,
Rob,
so you have to put that into context.
I wholeheartedly agree, but I will offer this as a counterpoint. The world needs gas station delis.
Absolutely. Especially, like, there's nothing better than being on a long road trip, like a good 4-hour road trip, and halfway through you got to piss yourself. You don't want to piss yourself. You got to stop. You got to decide, which rest stop am I going to stop at? Then you see, like, if I see a Wawa, it's like, what a gift. What a great way to spend a few minutes on my rest stop.
That's true.
Get a good piss, and you get a nice sandwich. And what's great about Wawa as an establishment is they pioneered the touchscreen technology, I feel, where, like, you could just quickly make your order for a custom hero or a sandwich or a sub or whatever it's called in your region. And you do it, you get your little number, and then you go about your way and keep shopping or go to the bathroom or do what you need to do, get your little Wawa version of a Slurpee. And then your number is called and you get a freshly made sandwich.
And this is happening in every restaurant now. They all ripped off Wawa. Like, McDonald's has a touchscreen now and all that stuff. So Wawa was doing this like 7 years ago.
Everyone, I feel, is moving towards this because essentially you don't have to pay employees to be fucking at the counter anymore.
Well, the thing, though, is Wawa actually has people still, they have an army of people. Every Wawa has like 900 employees in it. So now there may be someone listening to this that works at Wawa and like, my fucking boss is a piece of shit.
Please let us know. Give us your
happy
feedback.
to support you.
RIPalivecast@gmail.com. Well, the thing is, all the workers are the ones making the food. Like, even in the McDonald's now, there's McDonald's, the newer ones are fully automated in the front. Like the front side, there's no registers. There's only the touch screens, and you just go to your pickup window. But if you look, the kitchen is where all the employees are, because they're the ones you cannot automate making a burger yet.
Well,
yeah.
The funny thing about it, though, every time I've been into, which is not often, but when I stop into a McDonald's, they do have those kiosks And then there's a long line of people at the counter ordering manually with a cashier who is doing double duty and running around in the kitchen doing all that stuff that they have to do and taking orders because people don't like to use the kiosk. So I'm sure they get some flow through the kiosk, but a lot of people go up to the counter. There's always a line.
And I will say both parties are doing it wrong. Take the 2 seconds, download the McDonald's app. You make your order ahead of time. No waiting. I mean, you do still have to wait because they don't let you actually place the order until you're at the store. But you can customize everything on your phone. You don't have to be at a kiosk that 50 other people are touching. I prefer ultimately the self-ordering because you're in far more control of your specifications. There's less of a chance of the order being fucked up because you can customize everything yourself as opposed to reciting your order to somebody who completely understandably does not want to be there, hates this fucking moment, is way too stressed for the amount of pay they're getting, and they're more likely to screw it up. So
here's
I'm
the
all
problem.
for ordering via the app.
I'm a very customizable person, so a lot of times the specifications don't appear on their kiosk, and I have to ask them to do things, and they happily do it, and sometimes not happily, but usually they comply with.
Like, what's an example?
I don't know. Maybe McDonald's might be the best example, but yeah, there's sometimes. I have one in the summertime.
Fries with salt on the side.
No, I haven't. I'm not a big fan of that, but I do.
I feel the McDonald's app just to praise one aspect of McDonald's.
Their question. Let me answer.
Is fire. You can cut. I'm sorry. You can customize every aspect of your sandwich or order anything. But anyway, sorry. What's the one?
Seltzer. They don't have seltzer on the kiosk. I
agree. I agree.
It's
Absolutely
a special order. But here's the problem with using an app with McDonald's. And I use apps in all facets of my life. I don't use it for fast food because most times, especially McDonald's, when I walk into a McDonald's, it's usually a last second like resignation to after a long battle I had with myself to convince myself not to have fucking McDonald's, and I lost. So then I just walk into a McDonald's sadly and order a disgusting food. So I
have the same process, but before I do that, I just do it all on the app.
Right. Well, I'm saying I never decide to get McDonald's until I'm standing in the vestibule of a McDonald's.
Same. I agree.
You still go on the app then?
Yeah, it's easier than the kiosk or the person. Why not?
Okay, fair
the
enough.
order goes in just the same.
I only ever order on Grubhub now.
And not that I care about it or take it seriously at all. There is a reward system within the app. They want you to use the app because that's even less maintenance. They don't have to maintain these fucking kiosks. So they entice you with these coupons and rewards. And there's some times where like you get a whole fucking meal for free. Like, I mean, and again, I'm not sitting there counting my rewards or whatever, but it does add up. Let's see how my rewards are.
How often do you eat McDonald's?
Not as much, but there's one right by where I go to the pool. And as I mentioned on the show before, my daily workout is I just go for a swim.
Now I'm just picturing you eating a wet cheeseburger in the pool. Damn.
Just doing it like
no. You stop and you're like at the side of the pool and you drop
just
the cheeseburger
like
in the pool, you pick it back
my
up.
elbows are like on the edge of the pool.
Yeah.
I pictured the Hamburglar chasing him, trying to steal his Big Mac in the Atlantic Ocean.
And then the old babushka is boxing out the Hamburglar so he can't even reach Rob.
Darren,
have you destroyed a Wawa bathroom? Taylor Jade wants to know.
This is a great question.
I think I've only pissed in a Wawa bathroom. I've never taken a shit in a Wawa bathroom.
Also, I like how Taylor wrote Wawa. Wow.
Like a wah pedal.
H, yeah. But yeah, so sometimes after I swim, I get intense hunger after a long cardio session, and I need to eat immediately. And sometimes I have the same struggle, Darren, and I just have a craving for like a McDonald's cheeseburger or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And it will always be. I will never go crazy. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna get like, a nuggets and a fries. I'm just gonna get like. Sometimes I just get a quarter pounder.
I don't think I've ever had a quarter pounder in my life. That's like
Wow.
the
It's good.
one like staple McDonald's item that I've never gone for some
used to
reason. I
be-
don't know why.
It's
That used to
their
be my
equivalent.
go-to when I did eat McDonald's all the time. That was my favorite thing. Now it's a Big Mac.
I will either do the Big Mac or the McChicken. Typically,
I
the old
as I
school
mentioned
like
on the
shitty
show,
McChicken.
I've given up on the Big Mac 2 decades ago. The
Why?
quarter pounder.
What's
It's too.
what's
I don't like I don't like that there's no tomato. I don't like the third piece of bread.
There's no tomato on a quarter pounder though.
I get the quarter pounder deluxe, in fact. So there's tomato
Oh.
and mayo. I'm a fancy boy. But sometimes they put like way too much, like bathed in mayo. I just like a little
A little cum splash.
Yeah, a little. I want to not a.
Yeah,
You know,
I got you. So,
What are your
because
French
my
fry
favorite-
dipping sauces?
I like a barbecue or a
That's a new one. I don't remember that one. It's a
yeah,
French
like that's
fry
too much mayo. The first one was
Okay.
just enough mayo.
this is that's way too much.
It's like
That one, yeah, a
the
little
bottle-
solid might have
Yeah,
squirted
that
out.
one, the bottle needs to be refilled. It's running empty.
Oh,
Whoa! The bottle fell in the toilet.
There's
No,
no one
that's
there.
when you drop the burger in the pool.
Yes.
That's that. We
This-
caught that live.
There's no one there to get it out, unfortunately, because they removed all these employees with the kiosks. It's just
like
floating.
a beef patty, a burger patty, like floating in a pool, and people wondering what it is. It's like that scene in Caddyshack.
Deuterino asks, being pizza elitists, what do you think of dipping pizza in ranch? Big thumbs down. I do
All
not
the
think-
thumbs down.
No ranch on pizza.
Have some
Ranch is
self-respect.
forbidden from pizza. Also, buffalo chicken forbidden from pizza. And I want to be,
Yeah.
I say this with the asterisk of I understand how outside of the New York tri-state area, you could have a buffalo chicken pizza, and that could have been just a regular part of your upbringing. That could be its own little like fusion dish, fusion American Italian dish, but it is not traditional pizza.
The internet exists. You can live in Nebraska and know what good pizza is, even if you have no access
Yeah.
to it.
Now,
Also, go ahead.
I've never had a buffalo chicken pizza, so just to clarify, is it a regular like cheese pizza slice with buffalo chicken pieces on top, or is the sauce somehow different also?
No, it's they just throw. Well, what I've seen is they just throw buffalo chicken dipped sauce chicken on there.
So I've seen it done both ways, where it's like it's a traditional pie, tomato, cheese, dough, piazza. And then they put the buffalo the chicken slices dipped in buffalo sauce
Mhm.
as topped on the pizza, and then they'll like draw on ranch sauce like ridiculous.
Oh,
like
no.
I've
That's a
seen that,
bridge too
or
far.
I've seen that same thing, but without, where it's like a flatbread almost with buffalo on it and then some cheese,
It's not pizza
but
anymore.
not the tomato sauce.
It's an
Yeah,
open
that's
faced
different.
buffalo chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Also, I really don't like buffalo sauce. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it either.
It's just all the wrong.
I have to be in a mood for it.
Yeah.
There's so many better things to put on the wings.
There's better hot sauces. I agree.
I will say our beloved Rollin' Roaster does their chicken wings the right way. They have
Oh
a nice
my
hot
God.
garlic sauce.
Yeah.
That's the shit.
I sometimes eat those motherfucking things plain.
Yeah.
No sauce. That's how
I'm
good the
quite
breading
addicted to the Korean like soy garlic spicy kind of
That's also
flavoring.
good.
That's my
Yep.
favorite.
is. Rob, I
like a
thought
good
we were.
banchan.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
I
go
thought we're gonna do the sequel to your playing the Bangs app, the game where we were gonna look at your McDonald's.
Oh
app.
yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
how
right.
many
Yeah,
points?
we got thrown off there. Okay.
I'm very
So
curious.
I'm getting a promo for the Cardi B offset meal drop. This is what they do
Excuse
now.
me?
Well,
What
I
is-
guess they get like celebrities to kind of tell you what their order is, and you can go and order that combo.
How many things? First of all, how many ways can you combine McDonald's menu items? It can't be that many.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So like just looking at this, it's a combo meal, I guess. You get it as a couple, and this was a Valentine's Day promotion because Cardi B is married to Offset. And so it looks like a high C and a Coca-Cola a quarter pounder, a cheeseburger, 1 fries, and an apple pie. That's the meal.
So you share the fries and the apple pie, I guess? That's like
Yeah.
sharing the appetizer and the dessert? All right.
Yeah. So anyway, so
Do y'all people be adding an apple pie at McDonald's?
that's your Cardi B impression?
Yes. Listen, I did my Cardi B impression like 4 shows ago, and you said it was great, so don't insult me now.
I wasn't. I was just clarifying.
Oh.
I apologize.
You. In case someone just thought I spontaneously decided to talk like that.
Rob doesn't know what Offset sounds like, so he just wanted to make sure it wasn't him.
Oh, okay. I got you. It must be so great to be so famous that like your Grubhub order from McDonald's becomes a promotional. Like, what do we got to do to make $10 million this week? Oh, whatever we just ordered from McDonald's, just send them a text.
By the way, and again, I say this, I don't mean this to sound ableist, but I do not understand how anybody would Grubhub McDonald's. Get your ass to the McDonald's.
I do it all the time. If I order,
Why?
as I said, that's the only way I have McDonald's. Like every few months for lunch, we'll just.
Isn't it just cold by the time it gets to you? Like the fries are not.
It's fine. That stuff is all chemically altered. It still tastes good.
You
even
need
if
to
it's
eat it
cold.
right away. That's my thing.
I can't imagine cold
fine.
McDonald's except
It's,
like
and
an
it's
ice cream.
it's
I
like
can imagine
lukewarm,
it.
and it's fine.
I mean, I can't imagine not rejecting it and putting it in my mouth. That's so.
Yeah, like if I'm already resigning to McDonald's, it has to be under the best possible circumstances. Sometimes
it's not the best circumstances if you have to step into a McDonald's. That's automatically not the best.
Fair.
Well, they're really trying to make them seem upscale now. Like, they're just really redesigning.
Yeah, they've remodeled them now to look more like Starbucks's. I don't like it. There's no color in them.
But the Frosty machines the McFlurry machines are always still broken.
I will say in my area, the McFlurry machine is quite functioning. So I have 9,000 points.
So what can you do with that? Is that enough to redeem for a reward?
Oh yeah. So like 6,000 points gets you one of their signature burgers. I could get probably a whole meal for free.
You're already vomit.
I'm already getting the acid reflux. My body's already negatively reacting.
His brain is like space cleared. Insert McDonald. Why is no McDonald's here?
Let's see.
Can you order one of us something? Like gift us a burger?
I don't believe you can transfer them.
Oh,
that's the whole thing. They want you to use them on yourself. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, and they always have rewards. So they always have like other enticements. Like you can get a large fries for $1 if you spend $1. So if you buy anything else, you can add. I'm not here shilling for the McDonald's, but I'm just saying it's more efficient. You get a better bang for your buck, and you don't have to touch those dirty kiosks or, God forbid, interact with another person.
Promo code RABA.
Yeah.
Promo code RABA, yeah. But I do with other than like Taco Bell. I prefer using their app or the kiosk because, again, I like to customize my tacos and my order, and it's much easier to do myself.
Taco Bell is one that I try to avoid Grubhubbing because the tacos always arrive soggy.
Yeah.
That you need sort of fresh. But McDonald's,
you need to eat it right away.
Problem.
This might sound, the Taco Bell by you, Sid, is actually the one that there's actually one that opened closer to me, but I prefer the larger space of the one by you.
Okay.
I really don't like, honestly, I don't like public, service industry interactions with those apps because I think there's some inherent value to interacting with humans, and that's like a base level thing that I don't want to say I like to do it, but I think it's like a natural fundamental human thing. So I feel a little wary of replacing all that with technology somewhat.
From an ethical standpoint, I completely agree with you, but from a convenience standpoint, it works for Rabba.
Yeah.
It's just easier for me.
Taylor Jade with an interesting question. Does the Mexican pizza at Taco Bell count as pizza?
No,
I don't think so. It's
good. It's its own thing. It's its own spin.
And that's why I don't find that offensive because I don't think they're really trying to make pizza.
Right.
With that.
Yeah.
And isn't it just like what's that called? Not a tostada, but a tostada.
It
Isn't
sort
that
of
a
is. It's like
yeah,
two like fried tortillas
yeah.
with
So
stuff in between
it's
and on
kind
top.
of it's a twist on an actual Mexican
You
dish.
could also almost call it Mexican lasagna, though there is a Mexican lasagna that has a different name. But you could almost call it that because it's as similar to lasagna as it is to pizza.
Deuterino says haven't had Burger King in a decade. I
Yeah,
have
I
noticed
probably
that on
haven't
the
either.
West Coast they're way. I feel like in New York, I guess even in New York there aren't even that many anymore. They are very prevalent, like in Virginia at rest stops. I feel they're always a Burger King.
The quality of
many-
Burger King dropped a whole lot in the last decade or so.
Yeah, there's one that's not too bad. Not too far from me. It's run by Muslim people, so it's
I
like
was about-
halal. And no, they do a good job. Everything is always clean and like well prepared. Which is they do. I'm pretty sure they do have bacon there. Which is
Turkey bacon.
I wonder if
maybe.
it is. I don't know. I never get fast food bacon, so I cannot speak.
I happen to like turkey bacon better than pork bacon. So
I wouldn't go that far, but I'm not anti-turkey.
I don't mind. Yeah, I agree with you, Sid.
It's like a different little thing. It's a nice once in a while change of pace.
I agree. Overall, Burger King is boring, but the Whopper is my favorite. A tier fast food burger. I feel it beats the Big Mac, beats the Wendy's burger. It's the classic. What about you guys? I think we've had this.
I don't know that I've had the Whopper either.
Ever?
I don't remember. I always would get the chicken sandwich at Burger King.
Oh man,
the long
the
hero one.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to do like how that dipshit from Barstool Sports does that one bite pizza review. We need to do one bite fast food burger reviews. We'll just go like, all right, the rules. One bite.
I think how we do it is we all go to like Rob. We go to your place. We get on the apps and we order from each fast food place so we could all just have it at the same time and do like side by side instead of going to each fast food place and trying to get our hunger up all over again. That seems like asking for trouble.
Oh, I'm not saying we do it all in one day. This is a multi-week series.
Oh my God.
Like one day we just try Whoppers and rate them.
I don't know if my ass can take all that.
One day we try. I've never been to it, or I've been to a Checkers, but
I have not.
I feel
it's not good.
We can go to that one. We can go to Wendy's. We can go to Burger King.
Popeyes,
of course. Well, Popeyes doesn't have burgers. They don't have beef.
True.
I guess we could do then once we do all the beef burgers, we transition to the chicken sandwich. Keep the series going.
All right.
Okay.
Taylor says, I've never been, I'm assuming, to a Burger King. So do I need the Whopper on my bucket list now? Absolutely, Taylor. You absolutely need to try.
If the bucket is a barf bucket, then yes.
That's sad bucket list if it includes a Whopper on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
go
fine.
skydiving.
It's really not something to like go out of your way for.
Climb Mount Everest, jump out of an airplane, eat a Whopper.
If your bucket list item could be achieved at a drive-through within 15 minutes of where you are right now, then you need a better bucket list.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to experience a Slurpee 7-Eleven.
I mean, I understand if you just came to this country from like a third world country and this is like something that like seems like true Americana, but if you're from here, then
I've always wanted to drive through a toll booth. Can't wait to try that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's basically what you're saying when you want to try a Whopper. Yeah, now I'm hungry. Now I kind of want McDonald's. I kind of talked myself into it.
Go
order it now through the app and see how quick it takes to show up.
See if it comes here before the show's over.
No, I don't want. It's close. I could just walk. Maybe I'll start streaming from my phone and just live stream the walk over there. It's not too far from me. It's only a few blocks. I guess it's like 8 blocks. It's a bit of a walk.
You run out of stuff to talk about by then.
Yeah, like you guys would have to run the show and I would just chime in. I'd be on mute, but then when I have something witty to say, I would unmute and contribute.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah, I don't want to walk.
That's why you order on Grubhub. They bring it to you.
Walking is on Rob's bucket list.
Oh no, I do a lot of walking. I love a good walk with the whole gang, the whole pack.
Who's the pack?
My boyfriend and my dog.
Oh, that's 3 living things a pack.
How dare you? Don't you insult my pack,
That's a couple and a pet.
my wolf
Yeah.
pack.
It's a family unit.
Yeah.
Rob wants to swim to Burger King, says Giorgino. I would be into that. There used to be a Burger King not too far from where I lived, and I would go all the time on Avenue U.
Oh yeah.
Right across the street from a McDonald's, actually.
Yeah, of
It was
course.
No longer there, in case anyone
Yeah.
is wondering.
Is the McDonald's still
McDonald's
there? I know
too?
they
No,
were
the
doing
McDonald's.
construction.
McDonald's is there.
on it.
Burger King is gone.
Okay.
Burger King is now I believe, a gyro, Mediterranean gyro restaurant.
Oh yeah, I drove past it, and but like you could still see the shell of the Burger King like castle. They just
Was it called
decorated
Gyro
rooms.
King now? Because they just keep some of the signage.
Right down the block from that, where Burger King used to be, like 2 doors over, is a Jewish kosher Chinese restaurant called Sizzling Wok. That my ex-wife and I used to jokingly call Sizzling Cock.
Oh,
I don't know why. It's just we're very immature.
was that because it was good or because it was bad?
No, it was a frequent source of ordering because she has a shellfish allergy. So if she wants Chinese food, it has to be Jewish because they don't use shellfish.
Wow, that's very. That's
Meaning
lucky there was one nearby. God damn.
Yeah, because you can't, like, even the places that, like, if they like separate the pans, apparently, like, that's not enough. Like, they have to not have shellfish in the whole store, or she can't eat it. So.
Not worth the risk.
So the Jews came to the rescue. Yeah, it is. Well, her brother-in-law, it's even worse. Like, he just, if there's like nuts in the room or something, I feel like he gets like little symptoms, and if he eats a single nut, he can die. Like, if whenever there was a birthday celebration, we have to make sure, so whoever's getting the cake, they have to make sure there's not a single nut touched this cake. And it would freak out the employees, understandably so. They were like, oh my God, I think, let me check, because they don't.
Yeah, I don't want to be sued later because this motherfucker died.
Right.
Is it? I don't want to sound dim, but like I feel like these extreme nut allergies are relatively new, right? Like were they always, or we just didn't know about them?
I think
50 years ago.
I think it's new that people get these symptoms and discover that they have nut allergies. Like, maybe the detection.
It's more detectable now. Yeah.
But also there could be something to people's immune systems weakening from all the garbage that we breathe in every day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not discounting that they have these allergies. I think it's very real, and it's troubling. It just seems like it wasn't as prevalent.
Are the nuts just stronger now?
That's possible too.
They're making super nuts.
I mean, I know you're joking,
like
but
pesticides or whatever.
Yeah,
or, I know, like whatever.
They just could be like nuts on steroids or whatever.
It's Rob's favorite DVD.
The nuts are making the frogs gay.
Listen, people, we have the perfect counter to all the steroid nuts that they're selling out there. Go to my store, get my new Alex Jones anti-nut testosterone formula. It'll make you a man.
That's why Tucker Carlson was tanning his nuts.
Oh,
he gets all the toxins off of them.
Cross promotion. If you're nuts about nuts, use promo code Alex.
How did we get on any of what we've talked about so far on the show? None of this was in the rundown. We did half an hour on McDonald's and Wawa? I have no idea how that happened.
Sometimes I don't know. I do know this one immediately because it was episode 711. And we went into Wawa, then we went into food. Very happy I remembered that.
We're going into an episode. I'm like, we don't really have much to talk about this week. I hope we don't run out halfway through. And then we do a fucking hour on something that was not planned at all, and we don't even get to the stuff we were trying to. It's amazing.
Bunch of yentas on this show. You would think when female Jew left the show, that the Yenta quotient would go down, but it did
Yep.
not at all.
We're here. We're Yentas. Get used to it.
Yeah, it's true.
If you're not used to it by 711 episodes, I don't know what to tell you.
Speaking of Jews, have any of us been assaulted yet today? Isn't today like the day of hate? Like we're all supposed to get assaulted today?
I was not on my
didn't even hear
radar
about
at
it.
all.
What is this?
Did some Nazis get together and
Yeah.
assign this to be the day of
Yes.
beating up Jews?
That's
Okay.
exactly it. My aunt called me yesterday in case I hadn't heard to alert me to not go outside today because.
Well,
someone
I
might
feel like
fuck
pretty
with me.
passing, right?
I've never, in fact,
Yeah.
related to what Rob just said, in my life, I've never announced that I am Jewish and had anyone react with anything but shock.
Same.
Like,
But I haven't
really?
really announced it since like in elementary school. I remember people being surprised.
Oh, and a frequent follow-up question is usually like, "But you're not Jewish, right?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, absolutely
Then,
not.
then you give the George Santos answer that you're Jewish.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, before he ruined it. Yeah, I am. I mean, I don't know how to put it any other way, but I'm Jewish by family bond, and that's really it. I don't do shit towards my Judaism, other than being immersed in the cultural trappings of Judaism, but that's about it.
So I looked this up, and yet again, this feels like something that like two people said that the Anti-Defamation League created, like gave far more.
Well, it takes
publicity
it
to-
only takes one person to shoot up a synagogue.
Okay, but let me just read this.
But they could do that any day. It doesn't have to be
Sure.
a branded hate
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, like white supremacist groups are trying to organize a quote national day of hate to coincide with the Jewish Sabbath this weekend, according to the Anti-Defamation League. The particular effort is organized with a small neo-Nazi group based in eastern Iowa. So watch out for those eastern Iowan white supremacists in Brooklyn, Sid. Okay, quote.
They can get on a
While-
Greyhound, Rob.
While the
They have
ADL is
Reddit.
not While the ADL is not aware of any specific threats, we know that these groups are hoping for increased anti-Semitic flyer distributions, protests, and graffiti.
Now,
Well, way to give them publicity, ADL. Now any of these lone Nazis looking for a tribe will know where to look.
I think this reminds me of something that I might have mentioned on the show before, but this is something that distresses me about anti-Semitism, is that when I was a kid, and I would assume you would feel the same way about this, the default position was to ridicule them, that they were ridiculous. We've all mostly, with a certain layer of exception, our society has mostly shunned public displays of overt racism. That doesn't mean racism is gone from society, but it means that the majority of people, at least even if you are racist, most of them recognize you don't go in the supermarket and say the N-word anymore. They've sort of closeted themselves, again, with a certain layer of exception. And I think these people were outliers and they were ridiculed. And if you saw a Nazi, you would say, look at this fucking jerk off. And I think in the past 10 years or so, it has shifted towards being extremely scared of them constantly. And I don't like that. I think we're letting them win almost by hiding under your bed.
To add a little more context, so that was in New York, there was actually like a weird white supremacist protest. There was a Broadway musical now, Parade.
Are you going, Rob?
About I'm not going. It seems like a bit of a bummer.
What's Parade about? Is it gay related?
Surprisingly, it is not about a parade.
I believe it's about the Holocaust.
No.
What is it?
What the fuck? What a bad name for a show.
Some Jewish guy in America who got lynched or something.
Oh yes. Okay. Yes. There we go.
I was going to say, what a bad name. Not only are you going to bum out people who think the show's about a parade, you're also steering away your top audience who loves the Holocaust and they don't want to see a fucking parade show. They want to go do something else.
Apparently a white supremacist protest outside of the Broadway show, which I think that is a newsworthy event to prevent.
Yeah, I don't
An
say
event
like,
to prevent.
I don't say they shouldn't cover it or something like that.
I don't mean to downplay that. And so I guess with that, because of that, now Mayor Eric Adams, our tough on crime mayor,
Yeah. Great friend to
who
the Jewish community.
honorary
Real friend.
Jew, Eric Adams,
Friend of Israel.
he apparently got on stage after the musical on Thursday night to
Dance.
assure everyone.
Yeah,
Did he do a number? Oh man.
To assure everyone that there's no place for this kind of hate in New York. So
Staten Island
now
maybe a little bit.
So
but the
New
rest-
York, New York has rebranded now. There's going to be since Saturday was declared a National Day of Hate. Not here in New York, pal. Right here in New York today.
It's a National Day of
Saturday,
Knishes.
February 25th. It's actually
Wait,
the day of resolve.
the stain remover
Yeah.
is sponsored by Rizal.
Fucking capitalism. Everything's got a sponsorship now.
That's hilarious.
I guess the idea is that, well, I understand why now that there's added security at synagogues today because it is the Sabbath and there is a higher uptick in visits to these religious establishments where there have been shootings recently.
Don't say rightfully. It sounds too much like rightfully.
That's a fair point. So I guess the Jewish leaders are trying to encourage people to still show up for religious offerings and not be afraid, because you have to have resolve against this hate.
Yeah, in case your Ku Klux Klan robe has a big mustard stain on it, you got to use Resolve to get it out before you go to the rally. Resolve.
Yes.
Promo code Livecast.
Oh man, so I guess somewhere in the city right now they're holding outdoor Shabbat service.
Oh,
It's like 25, 30 degrees. Like, not a great day for an outdoor
Well,
service.
you can't do it indoor. You can't turn the lights on. You need the
Well, it's
sunlight.
daytime.
Yeah, wow.
You just hope they have windows.
Vista. Probably.
Anyway, how do we get on this?
Dusty-
your mom
Dusty-
said.
We were talking
My
about the
aunt.
hatred thing.
Oh, your aunt.
The hatred fest that's happening. Dusty Rose Muffler said Shabbat ranks.
Before I made the Shabbat ranks connection, I was like, he wants us to rank Sabbaths? What are the options? I don't even know. I was very confused.
Yeah, like how many different Sabbaths could there be?
I guess like top 2, Sabbath or not Sabbath, which is your number 1? Not Sabbath.
Well, number 1 is Ozzy era Sabbath. Then I would say Dio.
I just had a really good joke on deck, but I realized at the last second it relied on confusing Shabbat ranks with Shaggy, so I had to shelve it. But it was just a funny on the spot Jew parody of wasn't me. So. Oh well.
All right. Well, before the show, we got into a bit of a conversation about our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a thing about our list, like a ranking of our listeners by location.
Oh yeah.
And I know, Sid, you saw it, so you can't answer. But Darren, could you guess what country we have the most listeners from after the United States? Like, obviously, the U.S. is number 1. What's number 2?
Canada.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It is in fact.
You know, let me stop you here. I remember looking at this, and it was like 6 months ago. And I remember we looked at this, and it was something strange. Like, not the country is strange, but something you wouldn't expect, I mean, by strange. And I can't pull it up. I can't remember. But it's something that you go, what? Really?
Well, it is in fact Germany.
No, that wasn't what I was thinking, but that is interesting too. Germany.
National Days of Hate.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, all our German listeners.
I wonder.
No,
I'm glad we could help German people learn about Jewish culture.
Well, I'll say one thing about the Germans. They did a great job of self-policing their own Nazi bullshit.
Yes, and I love their absolutist anti-Nazi laws. I'm all about it.
I just think it's a little different there because they had,
Yeah,
they had the ovens, so it's kind of.
but
But like,
they're doing it right. I feel right.
Yeah, now they make
Right?
schnitzel in those ovens. It's all good. You just got that
Good
extra
schnitzel.
seasoning of like your relatives.
Could you guess the third country, Darren?
Chile.
No, India.
Oh, okay. Have we ever had a caller from either of those two countries? We've had South Asian callers, but not. I don't think India.
We love some feedback from our German or Indian listeners. Hit us up, RIPalivecast at gmail.com. Jadove Music says
Where's Ja?
Finnish listener here also learned plenty of Jewish culture from you guys. Oh,
Proud of
wonderful job. Australia is in fact our fourth most listened to country or location of our most listeners. The fourth most is Australia, followed by Singapore. Hello,
All right.
Singaporeans.
Wow, this
Take
is
it.
just all over the place.
Followed by France.
How about
France.
Canada? Where's Canada fall on that?
So it's France, then the UK, and then Canada.
Oh, okay. That seems odd to me. I feel like
And
I
then
always think
Japan.
I often think of Canada as just like an extension of the US. I know they hate that, but I mean culturally it's very similar to the US.
Yeah. And yeah, like I get what you're saying. Like, for example, I remember when I was running Metal Injection, Canada was easily our second most visited from country. It was like US, Canada, then UK, then Germany, something like that.
But then we did that very rude Anvil documentary watch along, and the Canada.
Maybe that was it.
Metal Injection.
Dusty asks, "What are these metrics based on?" These are our overall. These are all of our podcast listens
From any service.
from any service, not just Spotify.
We did kind of roast Celine Dion a few weeks ago. Too.
Yeah.
That could have dropped
Just
that
Rob
number.
singing her song is automatic roasting.
Oh. Yeah.
Sorry about that, Canada.
I'm with Celine on this one. And Canada. Squarely on the side of Canada. But and how far down do we have every country on there?
I mean, the top 10 fills out with Japan and Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. though.
Not according to this.
Not according to these stats.
Metric.
11 through 20. So 11 is Mauritius. Mauritius. I've never heard of this country. Somewhere in the Indian Ocean.
You should go visit. Clearly, you have a fan base there.
Yeah, that's
Clearly.
number
Hit us up.
11.
Mauritians, hit us up. Well, it could just be.
I think it's
person.
pronounced Martians.
It could be one Mauritian
With
who
a lot of
downloaded, who just really got into the show.
Oh, I thought
Hit
it was
us up,
unique.
RIPalivecast@gmail.com. It's by
It could also be
download.
somebody who's from somewhere else vacationing and downloading on their vacation.
Yeah, Italy, Portugal, Ireland, Norway, Mexico, South Africa, Denmark, Chile, Sweden, and now we're getting into like
listing countries.
Now we're in like very small download figures, so it's it's not here nor there.
It is like it does kind of freak me out that like I don't know, we don't have like Joe Rogan numbers on this show or anything, but the fact that someone just wakes up in fucking Mauritius and puts our voices on, it's kind of like really cool to me.
Yeah,
agreed. We love you.
It doesn't get any less mind blowing 20 years on.
Not that we don't love the American listeners, because we do.
Yeah. Sometimes
Dusty
you want
Rose,
that strange.
Dusty Rose Muffler asks, which country would you fuck? Sid?
Oh, man. I think the better question is, which country wouldn't I fuck? I'm a country slut. As long as they come to me. I don't want to go to the country. The country would have to come here.
I thought you were going to say...
Sid hosts. He doesn't travel.
Yeah.
Well, Italy looks like a high-class lady's boot, so if you
could fuck
you're into that.
Heel crease?
Yeah.
Sure.
Not my thing, but I respect all kinks.
Rob?
Most of them.
Which country would you fuck, Rob?
Sunflower
Uh,
seed Slovenia.
maybe Brazil. I like the men that come from Brazil.
The BBLs.
Do men get BBLs in the
What does BBL stand
That's my
for?
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. That's a whole thing too for certain guys. But
is
I'm
that
not into that. I'm not into
a
fake butts. I'm with Sid. All natural, please.
you? How about any enhancement on a man in any part of their body?
Not into
Calf implants? No.
it. No.
What if
I
it's
think
done?
silly.
What about chest? That's your thing, is chests. What about man has?
Oh
some
no,
nice-
I can't get into that. It looks too fake for me.
What if it's like a great job though, and you didn't know, but the man revealed to you this is fake? Would that turn you off?
Then I would be okay with it. If it that's fine. But you can tell. That's the thing.
Hair
Right, I'm
plug?
saying yeah. Obviously, if you can tell, I get the
I'm
visual.
okay
part.
with that.
But like it wouldn't theoretically, just the concept of it wouldn't turn you off if it looked nice.
Yeah, but it
Sid
just never
says the
does.
opposite. Sid says even if they look nice, he would be turned off the fact that the person
Mm,
altered
yeah.
themselves. It's like cheating.
Yeah. What about would you hook up with somebody with a cleft palate, Rob?
Ableist.
Maybe, probably.
I don't know. Does a cleft palate
how
really
else?
prevent you from doing anything?
That might be good for brain somehow.
All
Yeah, it depends how the rest of them look.
right. The rest of them is completely non-cleft.
Okay, well,
The
that's
palate
important.
is the only thing that's cleft.
The rest of them looks like Shawn Michaels, 1992.
I like that Dusty Rhodes keeps lobbying me to answer if I will fuck Kerry Von Erich's prosthetic foot pussy.
So,
No,
yeah.
the answer is no, I will not.
But did he have
Are you
one of these?
happy? Well, he had
Kerry
a
Von-
fake foot. He had a fake
Oh.
foot that he wrestled with. So I'm
Oh.
guessing there
What
was
was
a
he
hole
had
in
a
it.
match against the fake foot?
What was wrong? He lost his
Yeah,
foot in a
at the
motorcycle
Dallas
accident.
Sportatorium. They had a 60-minute time limit draw. In this corner, the foot pussy.
That's like next level bum fights when it's just a guy fighting his own prosthetic foot.
I
That's
think
like
I've
the
seen that on the
saddest-
Q train before.
Oh my god.
I also saw
HMO on a pole match.
I saw that in front of the kiosk at McDonald's too. That's when I started using the app, like Rabba.
Yeah, I can't
You gotta get those points.
I can't be walking into these prosthetic foot matches anymore. They'll just deliver it to me.
I think Bill Apter covered that once. Photojournalism. There was a big foot pussy on the cover of TWI with the big gold belts. He's like, they had to put the belt. That's what Dave Meltzer said. They had to put the belt on the foot pussy. Even if, next week you take it off him, you do a title switch again, it's fine. But... Gotta give the people what they want.
Oh, speaking of McDonald's earlier, did you see Trump was at McDonald's?
No,
No.
but
Well,
I
he
don't
went-
doubt it.
He went to East Palestine
Uh,
earlier this week. He was the first big politician to make the trip down there, and I
so
guess
he
like,
went to.
Dems were so. And by the way, if you don't know what happened in East Palestine, there was a massive train derailment, and the train was carrying toxic chemicals. And somehow they thought that the best way to deal with this is to dump the toxic chemicals in the local water supply.
Well,
Poisoning
did they
the
dump
local
it or
water.
did they just spill in there? I haven't been keeping.
I believe they
close
dumped
tabs.
it, and they.
And who is
spilled
the
in there.
they that thought this was the thing to do?
The railroad company, National. I forgot the name of it.
Northern.
Amtrak, I think.
No. It's
It's not Amtrak.
something with Northern in it.
Look it up, Darren, as I finish telling the story.
Quilted
And so,
Northern.
and basically the water supply and the air was poisoned to the point that all the water animals died. All the local foxes died. Like all the pets
The
in
local
the area
foxes.
died. All the animals in the area died. The only
So you don't mean like the local good-looking people?
no.
You mean
I
actual
mean
foxes?
Actual foxes, yes, not metaphorical foxes.
Oh.
Literal foxes. And
Norfolk Southern.
Okay.
and so I'm sorry. I'm looking for this video of Trump as I'm telling the story. Anyway, the story wasn't really covered too much in the press, and I feel like very much undercovered because this is a national tragedy, and this rail line should be blamed. And truthfully, a lot of deregulation during the Trump era helped usher it in, but also there was almost a strike where railroad workers were calling for safety precautions that could have prevented something like this. And of course, Biden stepped in to prevent that strike from happening. And those safety precautions did not get added. And then this happened. And since there's been like 2 or 3 other derailments as well in other parts of the country. Anyway, long story short, they were trying to make the story go away. And then Trump goes and shows up and hangs out with the people. He's Palestinian, a man of the people, Donald Trump. And he was the first one to go, to the point that they were so embarrassed that they shuffled along Pete Buttigieg to show up just to make an appearance.
The funny thing about this is I saw everybody like in the news saying like this is such a publicity stunt. Oh my God, Trump going there is such no shit. Like, of course it's a publicity stunt. You think he gives a shit about anybody? But the point is that he knows. How does Donald Trump know the correct publicity stunt to do, and you fucking don't, and you have to be shamed into it by Donald Trump? Like, that's how he won the fucking last time, you idiots. Like, by knowing.
Also, there's been like very weird shaming of the people of the town for like greeting him and stuff, and it's like, this is the only politician that's giving them any attention. Like, their fucking lives are ruined. And like, and again, I am in no way a fan of Donald Trump, but like have some sympathy for these people. Anyway, there was another classic Trump line, when this, I provide all this context just to provide a little bit of a laugh. Okay. So Trump, the thing is, Trump went to see these people. It's not like he's like donating money to help repair the water or whatever. He just brought some of his shitty fucking merch. He brought his fucking "Make America Great Again" hats to hand out and get himself some publicity. And then he delivered this amazing line. Here we go.
Enjoy your.
So he's at McDonald's right now, by the way, for our audio listeners, and there's a ton of people around him.
Meal, and we're gonna get the meals for the fire department. Okay, hello everybody. What's your specialty today?
How are you today? Nice to meet you.
Hold on.
Hello everybody.
He asks McDonald's, "What's your specialty today?" There's no special at McDonald's.
Could it be that he was kidding about like what's your specialty?
Is that a McDonald's?
Yes,
I can't tell what it is.
You'll see when he gets to the counter.
Yeah.
What's your specialty today?
How are you today? Nice to meet you.
Hello everybody. That's a nice, beautiful baby. So I know this menu better than you do. Okay? I probably know it better than anybody in here. We're going to take care of the fire department.
I am the best consumer of McDonald's. No one better than me. Okay, I eat it every day. Some of you losers, maybe once a month, Rabba, when you have the app.
How many points do you think he has on the app, Trump?
I don't use an app.
That's where he's an actual billionaire.
I like to get down with the people, okay? With the people. Unlike you and your ivory tower, you woke, scold ivory tower that can't get in to go. You have to use an app.
He has so many points.
I don't have an app. I don't have an app. I have a boy. I tell him my order, then he runs down and he gets it.
He has so many points that his reward is he can do anal with Grimace.
I have a McDonald's black card, like the American Express black card. I can have a pallet of Big Macs delivered to my house anytime. We should have.
I'm just now
imagining trunks. Go ahead.
Him doing the jingle, like ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Frankly, I'm loving it. We don't. We had Trump rank the presidents. We should have him rank the fast food joints too. Like Checkers, never tried it. Looks terrible.
McDonald's, right from Central Casting. When you think fast food, you think McDonald's. The old
fries are good. Great fries. Do you have great fries? Gotta admit.
Burger King, he's no king. There's only one king here, and that's Donald. You know, the Whopper's all right, but stay away from those fries. Now, my Trump impression is off tonight. I'm sorry, folks. I apologize.
You haven't had McDonald's yet today. That helps.
Yeah, you're right.
It greases the vocal cords properly.
Nobody knows the McDonald's menu better than I do.
I'm the best McDonald's person.
I'm down with. Can you add it? Like, he probably loves the fillet of fish as well, which a lot of people say many positive things about the fillet of fish, but I just can't bring myself
No.
You ever tried it?
to
Ian?
have it. I've never tried it. No.
It just doesn't seem like something that can be produced quickly and efficiently and with good taste.
Yeah, it's just your tempting fate.
And this is somebody that has ordered the calamari strips at White Castle. But
Wait,
that-
they have
this is-
calamari strips?
Yeah. Or
Not
like
clam
crab
strips?
Clam strips. That's what it is. Why did I say calamari?
I mean, who knows
Yeah.
what it's actually made of?
Yeah, well, whatever it is.
That
it's
doesn't
not
seem
either
better
of those
anyway.
things. It's just fried dough.
Yeah. There's probably like 3 molecules of calamari in there. Whatever.
Yeah.
The fuck.
And I do enjoy the shrimp from Popeyes. I feel Popeyes is a quality operation. I've been fooled by their propaganda.
It does vary from location to location.
Yes, I agree. You have to have a good spot. You have to-
And I'm an expert.
there's-
I am the best consumer of Popeyes on this
I probably
planet.
know this menu better than anyone in this.
Frankly,
podcast.
Sid, I question how much you've gone to Popeyes. Just saying.
Not that much, honestly.
What are some of the best Popeyes in the city? Are there ones in Manhattan? Are there Popeyes in Manhattan now? I think new
Probably
ones have opened.
somewhere.
There's one actually around Times Square. I actually just saw.
Oh, that stay away. There's no
just-
way that's good.
I just went to the Popeyes in the Junction, where Brooklyn College
In Brooklyn,
is.
yes.
And I had the best Popeye sandwich I've had anywhere.
Is it
Just-
still like a half Popeyes, half Wendy's? Is it that one or a different one?
No, it's just Popeyes. And
Oh.
there's no
Oh.
Wendy's over there anymore.
Oh, R.I.P. Wendy's.
Yeah, Wendy's are dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Uh,
Back to fast food.
Yeah, we have 2 topics on this show:
We know fast food better than anybody, folks.
Trump and fast food.
No, Deuterino, I have never had Raisin Cane's chicken. I don't
know
think
what
they
that
have
is.
that around us at all. I think that's
Yeah,
like
I've never heard of it.
thing as far as I've heard of it, but I've never had the opportunity.
Sad.
They have raisins in their food, or
I hope. Oh, that's a deal breaker. I don't want no fucking raisins in my chicken. What kind of shit is that? Is there
Yeah,
cocaine
yeah.
in it? That might be fun.
Raisins. I don't know if raisins go with cocaine.
a lot of people put raisins in the food. Raisins? What is this? I said, wait. When I was a kid, there was no raisins in food. There's no raisins in anything. There were no raisins.
Let's see what else we got. Gene Simmons is in the news,
Oh.
folks.
This fuck. What's he
I don't
doing?
know. Well, Darren, if you have $6,000 just burning a hole in your pocket,
Mhm.
you in fact can give it to Gene Simmons.
Oh,
And
that didn't occur to me. But I'll think about it. Do I get anything out of this, or do I just hand him money?
you can
Well,
go and hang out with him at
Oh,
Abbey Road Studios and record a song
oh,
for only $6,000.
I can record a song for less than that anyway. Like, what am I? The added experience.
But not at Abbey Road.
Who cares?
is there any like pre-existing connection between Gene Simmons and Abbey Road? Like, did Kiss famously record there or something? This seems like completely random. Like, he's just on vacation in England and he's just going to show up there one day and see if they let him in. Why is this a thing?
My beloved past aunt, for whom I lit the yahrzeit candles, her name was Abby, of course. Abigail.
And she died on the road outside my house, but I wouldn't
Yes.
let her in.
Very tragic. We'll be selling Kiss Aunt Abigail shirts and coffins.
And
Yahrzeit candles, of course. In
This
the Kiss
Photoshop,
store.
by the way, is horrendous.
oh, yes, that
Yeah,
Hair.
like
Where'd they
this-
come up with that hair for? Oh, no, wait. No. Never mind.
That's his hair.
What's that?
Let's
Potted
see the-
plant in the front that they had to
That's
put
Paul
in.
Stanley.
That potted plant is like put in the photo, right? Like
It doesn't-
clearly.
None of this looks real. Like that doesn't look like it's actually Abbey Road's entrance. This all looks completely
Yeah.
fake.
That
Yeah.
fucking Arial font that they use to put the name of the studio on the door.
That is Arial rounded. You're correct, Darren. And
just generic. They just went to the first thing in their font list because it started with A.
So it happens on July 10th, and each participant will get a curated collection of personally owned Gene Simmons items selected by the rockstar
wow.
himself. What items of Gene Simmons do you think he's
comb.
passing along? You gotta use tissue paper.
Branded
bottle of
Kiss Mezuzah. Sorry, Sid. Yeah.
A bottle of shampoo from the hotel he's staying at. You just get him like whatever is there, like a
A
towel.
flyer from the local pizza joint. Put in my pocket on the way out.
You don't even record a new song. You record a Kiss song with Gene Simmons and his band.
Oh.
Who is his
What?
band?
Oh,
What?
but good news. Well, his session band. Good news. Musical experience is not necessary to participate. He will take your money even if you don't know how to play. The day
So this is
quote,
karaoke night with Gene Simmons.
It's
Yes. The day is about having fun with Gene Simmons and going home having a copy of you and Gene Simmons on a recorded Kiss song.
Oh, wow.
You'll take home items from Gene's personal Kiss collection. You'll get photos and a video with Gene, and he'll sign 2 of your personal items. I love that they have to fucking quantify how many signatures Gene Simmons will be willing to give you for giving him $6,000 fucking dollars.
Could you imagine
So
how
weird.
many items these jerk-offs would bring if I didn't specify 2, Rabba? Please. They'd be in there with a wheelbarrow full of junk.
Also, so wait, it's only happening one day. So how many is there like a limit to how many people could get this?
Yes.
Yes,
Deal?
2 only.
Yeah.
Actually, anybody with $6,000, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
would
like-
be a line.
What's the limit, Rob?
There's no indication of what the limit is, but it is a limited event.
Because like, what do you get? 10 minutes to record with him? Like, here, hold this drumstick, and done.
Let's see.
Or like,
So
this.
You
is
spend the
very-
day at Abbey Road Studios with Gene. You will hear Gene share stories about his career and items in his personal collection that spans 50 years, and he's passing them on to you.
What?
You is always in all caps.
Yeah.
You will record a Kiss song with Gene Simmons and his band in the studio where decades of legendary performers have stood, and record a Kiss song live at Abbey Road Studios with Gene Simmons. Note, no musical experience is necessary. The day is about having fun, going home and having a copy of you and Gene Simmons on a recorded Kiss song. You will take home items from Gene's personal Kiss collection. You will get photos and video with Gene, and he'll sign 2 of your personal items.
As my beloved
here's-
Rebbe growing up used to say, Ehren is filter teile für Geld, which means honor is dearer than money. The honor of
Wow.
recording
You
with me is honorable more than your $6,000. So give it up.
You even get this bullshit certificate of authenticity that this item was personally owned and worn by Gene Simmons.
Oh my god.
I love this.
I don't believe it. He's going to have to put it on in front of me for me to believe that.
This is such a
So, Which
Is
one
it
of us
possible that
going?
he just wanted to record an album at Abbey Road but didn't have the funding? So he's like, well, I'll just use one of the days to have people pay me $6,000 a pop for a handshake, and that'll pay for the rest of the week's worth of studio time for me.
All the shit he sells, he doesn't have money? This fuck?
Oh, so it's for you and a guest. At least
Oh.
you are allowed to bring a guest for
So I only
$6,000.
have to pay $3,000 and find some other jerk off to do this.
Well, I guess the jerk off will not be allowed to sing on the song. That's like your wife that you have
Well-
to drag along.
Does it anywhere say that you're going to be singing? It just says that you get to be in the recording. It doesn't say what you're doing.
Play the triangle.
Oh,
yeah,
that's true.
seriously. Hold a tambourine.
Excellent point.
I'll take your $6,000, but you don't get to play with me.
It's seriously. There's no. It's all very vague. It's all extremely vague.
Taylor says, funny story. Gene's daughter and I would play volleyball against each other. He came to our tournaments rocking the alligator.
Did
He
he
would
hit on
even-
all the students?
Good
All the
question. He would
volleyball
even be the
girls?
team dad for the club. He'd
Yeah,
be the team
yeah.
dad, but would he be the team daddy?
Oh, Team Daddy is the episode title, by the way.
All right, everyone. All right, team. Time to do squats. come to my
Right-
personal office.
Right over my mouth.
Oh,
And then he does his little tongue thing. Gives him a little tickle.
Don't be freaked out by the hair.
Oh,
Taylor, was he wearing his wig at the time, or would he come bald?
I bet he had a do-rag.
That's his cover of a Cannibal Corpse song. I come bold.
Is that the episode title?
Oh no, that's Hammer Smash.
I come bold from my erection.
Wow. But yeah, so Rob, are you doing that deal? A little trip to
the
jolly old
volleyball.
England?
Oh.
Or no,
No.
Was there an AEW show going on there?
Oh,
Maybe
Oh.
if that coincides with an AEW show. Taylor says he did give extra long hugs.
Mm.
inappropriate.
Taylor was my inspiration for my new project, Phantom in the Park 2.
Phantom in your butt.
Yes, Phantom in your butt. Sid, have you seen the log lines? What's going on here? How do you know this?
There's a log, all right.
Call my lawyer.
Of course, we watched Phantom in the Park, the Kiss movie. We did a watch along. You can watch us suffer along. And actually, I didn't mention this earlier, but one perk of the Patreon, if you go to patreon.com/RPLivecast, $5 a month, get all the bonus episodes. I just re-uploaded all of the watch alongs. They're now natively uploaded as video to Patreon. We no longer use Mega Upload. So if you missed any of them, they're all up on the first page now, and there's a ton of really good ones that I almost forgot about that were very, very fun, including the Kiss Phantom doohickey, and then let's see what else we got here.
The Phantom doohickey. What?
Phantom at the Park. Oh, Until the Light Takes Us, the black metal
Yes.
documentary. This one I completely forgot about, but it's actually one of my favorite watch-alongs. We watched Mean Man, the story of Chris
yeah.
Holmes, him hanging out in
Legendary.
France.
Is he still
And
there?
it's so good.
Is he still alive?
I think
Did
he's
he
actually
die?
sick, I believe.
Chris Holmes,
I
you're
thought
right
so.
across the water from me. Just hop over and give me $6,000 in England.
Yeah, he could
Record
be on
Kiss
a Gene
song.
Simmons track.
We also watched Money Plane, which stars Adam Edge Copeland and Kelsey Grammer.
Oh my god.
No tossed salad or scrambled eggs in that one. Then we watched the Netflix Escape the Undertaker movie with The New Day, which was terrible. I totally forgot about it, but we had a fun time with that. And this one, Road Movie. We did a watch along of a movie which only featured dash cam footage of accidents and truly
All
what
sorts of insanity.
what a roller coaster ride of a watch along.
All in Russia.
Yeah.
Russian dash
Yes.
cam footage.
The other one I was thinking of the other day was Hellaware that we don't mention.
Oh my god.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What a weird fucking movie.
The basis of the Kachotikov song.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gene Simmons, I believe our first watch along was the movie Trick or Treat, a Halloween movie with him and Ozzy Osbourne in it as actors. And of course, anybody seen Richie? House of Justice. And we forget about that one. Tiptoes we've mentioned. Judge Steve Harvey we mentioned. Cannibal Holocaust we don't mention because it was disgusting. It was a difficult to watch.
Lived
I
up
love
to
that
the hype.
episode.
Yes. The Lemmy documentary.
Had
And
some
just to-
controversial moments.
Just to let people know, we do more than just watch movies. There's a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are just the watch along. So there's a ton of stuff. And you can enjoy with us on patreon.com/RIPLivecast. It's like $5 a month. It's nice. I like.
All right.
We hope you like.
Yells. Yells.
Should we do a Borat, like not watch along, but speak along, and you just recite the entire dialogue from the movie, Rob?
Sure.
And
I could do that better with Anchorman, I think. Than
what about Austin Powers?
Oh, Austin Powers for sure.
I wonder
What if you
could-
just do a whole episode as Austin Powers?
or as Dr. Evil?
Yeah. And then Darren could
Right.
be Borat, and I don't know what the fuck I would do.
You
I
don't
just-
do impressions usually.
Yeah, I just sit there and giggle.
In fact, whenever you do, it's so jarring. I'm like, wow, he fucking did a voice or something.
I don't like putting myself out there. I'm a very cowardly person. And don't nobody rush too fast to talk me out of saying I'm cowardly. You just love both of you. Just let that go.
No, we
Yeah,
agree. You are.
Accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, you're quite cowardly.
Thank you. It's my brand.
Dusty Road says he watched the Cube 2 watch along recently. That was a tough one for us, but it was a fun watch along. But not the first Cube movie is excellent. I highly recommend it. I think you can even watch it for free on YouTube. Just search for it on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube even? Wow.
But second one, not fresh.
Second one is just the first movie again, but they just upgraded the special effects and downgraded the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let the writers take the weekend off.
Yes, Dusty says I just heard about this too. There's a Japanese Cube remake that came out like 2 or 3 years ago.
Is it supposed to be good?
Yeah, I only just heard about it like
Oh.
a week ago, and it's been out for several years already. I'm excited to watch it. Maybe we should do that since we did 2 Cube episodes already.
Yeah, all right.
Cube.
If it exists.
Let me do a short panel discussion on that one, maybe, because we already extensively covered this Cube universe. We watched the 2 movies, and then in the second one, we also talked about the different iterations of Cube. Like there was a third movie, which we briefly touched on, but there's more to comment on now. So.
The extended Cube universe, yeah.
And he says, Dusty says it's like a horror movie. I would say the first one's a horror movie more than I feel like it's in the same vein as like Event Horizon. You ever see that one with Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill? It's like
Maybe
it's like a horror movie with the setting is in space.
It's on
So,
HBO
like,
Max, Sid.
Yeah, great movie. That's literally one of my favorite horror movies ever because they go into. I'll give you the blurb. It's this ship got lost in space, like a spaceship got lost. So there's a new team that's supposed to of scientists that has to go investigate what happened to this other ship. So they go and start investigating it. And it turned out that the ship got like sucked into some dimension and they all went to like some Hellraiser, like Pinhead space. And they came back like the ship went to hell basically. And they all came back insane and like cannibalized each other. So it's really a horror movie, but the setting is on a spaceship more so than a sci-fi movie. That's how I felt about Cube. I feel like that's a psychological horror film, which is just inside of this weird sci-fi world. So I hope the Japanese one is heavy on the horror aspect because I feel like the second Cube went to sci-fi more, and that made it suck.
Yeah, they just misunderstood what people liked about the first one.
100% agree with that.
Like, what if there's just more boxes? Oh, all right, yes, that's the thing we all enjoyed.
What if this cube
do it.
was weirder?
Yeah, just moved a little bit faster. What about diagonal? Yes.
Wait, stick with me here. The boxes move through time. I was just all high on acid, and smoking weed.
And then they made it.
Did you ever have a cube on weed?
That's basically, yeah. And then the Japanese one, I guess, is cube on seaweed. Get it? Because they eat seaweed.
I get it.
All right.
Very well done.
I apologize. This is what happens when I put myself out there. I say things like that.
Get back in the closet, Sid.
Oh, damn.
He finally came out saying he liked seaweed.
That actually makes me think of something really fucked up that happened on RuPaul's Drag Race last night. Rob, obviously you saw this. We did not talk about this moment, but one of the queens talked about how he doesn't talk with his mom anymore. And they asked him why. And he said, well, when I was younger, I was living there at home with my mom and my family. And my mom discovered all my drag stuff in the closet one day and basically figured out that I was gay and I was into drag. And she said, you know, you don't have to hide. You don't have to pretend to be something you're not. You could be yourself here with your family. And then a week later, she came to me and said, all right, you're making everybody uncomfortable. You have to move out right away. Could you imagine? She says, yeah, we love you. Be yourself. And after just a week of being yourself, they're like, you know what? Get the fuck out.
He convinced her not to be so open-minded.
So wildly fucked up. That might be one of the most harsh stories in like RuPaul's Drag Race is known for these like horrible stories of like these when these people came out to
like
their families.
The
like,
producers live for them. I feel like they force them at gunpoint
Yes.
to tell these terrible stories of like how awful their families have been to them. Like the most famous one, I think, was Roxy Andrews.
Yes.
Where it was her as a child or him as a child, and like with his older sister were abandoned by their mother at a bus stop, and they just had nowhere to go, and like the mother just left them, and it kind of turned into this unfair meme that kind of made fun of her
Roxy was also a total cunt on that show, on that season. So like deservedly everybody dunked on her for that story.
Yeah.
But the person telling this story last night has been a completely benign character so far. So that's almost crueler. Like if it's one thing to just be like, I don't like you, get the fuck out. But to be like, no, I love you very much. I want you to be exactly who you are. And then literally 7 days later, like you've had it. All right, I've had enough, son. Get the fuck out of the house. You're almost better off just staying in the closet at that point. It's like, holy shit. So yeah, I was taken aback by that story last night.
And it's like, you raised him, you know? He learned it from you, Mom.
I learned it by watching you. Does anyone know that reference? I might not. You might not even know. It was an old drug commercial. Anti-drug commercial.
Yeah. I mean, I knew the reference of it. That's the reference I was making.
Okay, the guy finds his son's like a little cigar box. Why the kid used a cigar box? I don't know, but like this, just a bunch of random drugs in there. There's like a joint and pills and a whole bunch of other shit.
Let's see.
Yep, that's it.
It's yours?
No,
My mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know.
Your mother says you found it in your closet.
What you like smoking? Smoking drugs?
Back when everyone sounded like Sylvester Stallone.
Hey, you guys, I got some pills I can share with you.
Your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys was.
Close to what?
Look, Dad, it's not.
Where did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
Do drugs with your kids. That's the lesson here.
That's the truth. I know Rob's mother was a huge pop.
Well, there's so much of this that makes sense. Why does the dad have like a thick Long Island accent and the son looks like a wasp from New England? You know,
just
like
put more thought into this than anybody else ever.
Where'd you learn this? I learned it from watching you. Like,
okay. He's like Michael J. Fox on Family Ties.
Rob, do you sound like your dad?
My dad is not from this country, though.
All right, so maybe this guy's not from this country.
Yeah, he is, though. He is. Don't lie.
He looks sort of like Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti.
Easy
Peroni, your buddy, your old pal.
Easy Peroni says, "You guys aren't parents, aren't yous?" LOL. No, we're not. Are you saying you did drugs with your kids, Easy Peroni?
Or you did drugs with your dad?
EP09.
It sounds like a way to make pepperoni, like a frozen pepperoni brand. Easy pepperoni.
That is not real pizza, by the way.
No,
In case anyone wants.
Easy pepperoni.
No.
fuck out of here. That shit.
If
But
it
that
has
was
easy pepperoni on it, no, thumbs down. But you can dip that in ranch. I won't judge you. Darren, there was a question for you in the Discord this week. We should
Ask away, Sid.
answer Jeremy's question. He was wondering if you would be able to share how you got started in poker and your current status in the game.
Yeah,
How
I don't
you-
know.
Your poker journey.
I don't know if it's that interesting, but I don't know. I guess in my late 20s, I just started playing, with plastic chips from Walgreens or whatever with my friends, and one of them being Squiggy, who has he been on this show, or have we
No.
just talked about him? I thought he maybe came on, called in once or whatever. Anyway, we used to play at various people's houses, just bullshitting around with very tiny cents worth of stakes. And there were a few good players there, but the vast majority of them didn't know what they were doing. And I realized I was starting to take their money more often than not. So, and somewhere in the back of my head, I said, well, maybe I could do something larger with this. And then I went to a casino one time, I guess, and I just killed it. And that kind of gave me the confidence to like, okay, I can learn about this. I'm a good like autodidactic person. I found a bunch of books to read and stuff. And then like later on, as time went on, when YouTube was around, I started watching YouTube videos, how to improve my game. I invested in like software to like, when I would play online, I would analyze hands, and I just started expanding my field more and more to go to more games. To like the boat club that I always talk about, that's not really a poker club. Like I've cleaned up there, don't get me wrong. Like I make a ton of money there, but it's like a casual poker place. So like after that was my first venture, like the first step up into playing people I didn't know. Like, and that was sort of I went to that casino that one time, but I wasn't regularly going to casinos then. I started playing in this boat club basically every week, started really winning a lot of money. Considering the stakes that it was just 1-2, but it was like they just shovel you money there because it's not like really a poker club. If you have any idea what you're doing, you win and win and win. So that got me the confidence to like, okay, maybe I could do this and make enough money to like not have to really do anything else. That could be my main source of income. So I just really put a lot of time into that and just grinding. I'm not on TV, I'm not a millionaire from this. I don't go on, I'm not famous. I don't sit next to fucking Phil Ivey or anything, but I just go to local games, and before COVID, go to local casinos or fairly local casinos and play a shit ton of online poker. And that's basically it. And now I honestly feel that I'm sort of at the end of that journey because I think it's done a lot for me. I have like and what he also asked, where am I within the poker world? I would say that I play mid stakes. I play like mostly the 2-5 or once or twice I've played a 5-10 game. That's like the largest I've played. I don't play extremely high stakes, but I just do okay, and I make basically the equivalent of a 9-to-5 job if I went and sat in a cubicle. But I don't have to put pants on most of the time if I don't want to. And I enjoyed it, but I also feel like I'm at the end of it, and I feel like I want to do something with more imprint on the world. Like I don't regret doing it, and I made a nice little retirement fund, and I help my mother out when I can, whatever. But I want to do something that's more impactful to the world. I feel like I wasted a lot of my 20s and 30s doing shit that was sort of idle and just, all right, I'm making money, but what am I really contributing to anybody? I feel like this show was my most creative outlet, and I'm proud of that. But I feel like I want to give something that I can leave something more than I just played poker a lot after I'm in the ground. So that's why I'm going to school. Like I want to do something more impactful. I'm trying to run around, clean up what I didn't do in my 20s and 30s and early 40s.
Dusty Roosevelt.
Do you think does anyone
Is that
really
what
want to see a 3D OnlyFans? Like, come on.
Well, it's
Let's be
certainly
real.
more impactful.
I don't know. Is it? I feel like this show would be more impactful than my OnlyFans.
Only one way to find out.
I hope that was a good answer. I don't know. I just feel it's like one of the more boring aspects of my life. Although people are more interested in it whenever I mention it. Uh, I have a lot of like stories from it and stuff like that. But really, it's just I look at it as a job. I treat it. I have my spreadsheets, and I have a financial plan that I try to meet every month. And I don't have any degenerate gambler's rush whatsoever. I don't go there like trying to play big pots like that some people do. I never put more than like 2% of my bankroll on a table at any given time, which guarantees that you can't lose a lot of money. And I play a very low risk, low variance type of style. So that's what's helped me be successful at it. But yeah, that's it. And I think I would always play poker. Like if I stopped playing it as a job, I would still play it because I love it. I wouldn't do it this long if I didn't love. If I stopped loving it, I would find something else to do. But I just, like I said, I think I have a lot up here that I have not invested in my life. So I'd like to do that. I feel like I leaned on it as a crutch, like in order to not do things I was afraid to do. Like, oh, I'm making this living, I'm good at it and it's easy. And my sports officiating is the same thing. It's something I'm good at. I love to do. It gives me some athleticism. And I leaned on all that, like, well, this is providing me such benefits. And what should I be jealous of someone that's working in a fucking like office job? Not that that's bad. I'm not shaming anybody, but like I feel like I have found something. I don't have to have a boss and blah, blah, blah. So I leaned on that. And looking back, I think that was a bad decision. Like I think it was laziness. Like I can do this thing and that's okay. And I'm living. I'm keeping the lights on. But that's not a good way to live your life. I don't think it advanced my cause as a human being. So I'm looking to semi-retire from doing this and get into a profession that I think is worthy of my soul or whatever.
Have you thought about what that would be? Like what profession?
Yeah, I really want to be a college professor. Like I think I would be great at that. It really speaks to me. And like when I help other students in my class, even in the classes that I'm taking, I feel like the professor. I have one professor that's really scatterbrained. Like she's great. She's great. Once the class starts, the light goes on and she's amazing, but she's terrible with like extracurricular stuff and giving assignments and timeliness. So I'm sort of like being the assistant professor on this WhatsApp that we have for this class. And they're all thanking me. I feel like the professor, you know what I mean? Like I enjoy it. I get like that feeling that I get from that minimal, cosplay as a professor. So I feel like I've always thought that I would be great at that. So, but that's going to take a while. Probably, I'm almost done with my undergraduate, so I'd have to do 2 years and get my master's and all that. But that's something I'd like to do, and I'd like to write.
Of what subject?
Film.
Okay.
I don't know how many openings there are. That's something I'll have to investigate later. But you can always downshift. I mean, they're desperate for professors. So
yes.
Anything you demonstrate some proficiency in academically, there's a lot of film might be the hardest one because there's just not that many good film programs. But I'm still far away from that, so I have time to formulate a plan.
Nice.
Knock on wood if I don't die in a plane crash.
Oh my God.
49 year.
Well, they'll make a movie about it, and then they'll teach that in a film class. So in a way, you'll still have what you wanted.
Just put my urn on the fucking on the desk in front of the.
Yeah. They'll hold it in like a film tin.
In fact, we'll use this thing. Yeah, this is my. My remains will be buried. I hope that wasn't too boring of an answer.
Not at all.
I want to bring the show to a halt.
Inspirational.
I actually remember those early poker games that you mentioned because I sat in on them too, and I vividly remember that you were like excelling at them, and a lot of it I feel is just doing math in your head and figuring out probabilities and remembering probabilities. And like while I grasped the concept, I couldn't do the computations as quickly as you could. Also because I was playing stoned. I want to be clear.
Yeah.
Right. I probably was too, honestly. I just got to say, I was smoking weed very heavily back then.
But yeah, no, that was very cool. And I totally hear what you mean about like, like it was good for a while because perhaps at the time you needed a break from the daily grind of having, because I remember you were kind of burned by your full-time jobs before that. So it was like a good, like, oh, I could I could, pay my bills and not have to deal with these idiots.
I always thought I worked a little bit, well, a combination of things. I worked below sort of my abilities in like shit jobs partly because of not finishing school in my 20s. I had ADHD. And then like, also a bunch of circumstances led to me not pursuing my career. Like my mother lost her job, lied to me, didn't tell me that she had 5 months back rent.
Oh God.
And we had like $0 in the bank at that time, and was forced to get a shit job. Actually, 2 shit jobs at the same time to keep and go to court to keep her from being evicted. So I was juggling all this shit, and I was forced to have shit jobs for a few years. And like Rob said, that really burned me out on like being a working stiff. Like I was like, I'm over this. Either I'm going to have to go to school and get a degree and get a real job, or I'm going to have to find some creative way to make money that does not burn me out in this way, because I was on the end of my rope. So yeah, that's part of my poker story. But I would like to point back when I'm 75 and just go, I did this and it's something constructive and made people's lives better. I don't think that's poker, not that it's bad. I don't regret doing it.
It's the Livecast.
Yeah.
I do. Yes, I do. I'm saying
you made people's lives better by doing the show. Right, Dusty Rose Muffler?
Thank you.
He's still thinking about the OnlyFans.
What I would try to... What I mean is not to diminish this show, but I mean, I want to translate to that to my professional career as well.
You want to get to a point where someone would pay you $6,000 to record a Kiss song with you at Happy Road Studios.
I'd like to think when I reach where I want to be, I would not have the same ethics and principles as Gene Simmons.
But you could. That's all I'm saying.
I could now. It's just I don't know that anyone's going to pay me.
Right, but knowing that someone would.
You could do your Gene Simmons impression for $600 a pop at Fastlane Studios in Brooklyn.
Is that even still open?
Rob, is it?
It is.
What about Ace London? Is that still there?
That one I think might have closed.
Yeah.
That's the one where the real degenerate bands would come. I feel like maybe the best band there was like maybe Fear Factory recorded there.
Which one was the Typo Negative one? It was one of those two.
I think that was Fastlane.
Okay,
maybe I'm wrong, but there was always that was just a hangout when we would go to Ace London Studios just to hang out. Like your friend was in some dipshit band. They're like, oh, we're gonna go record at Ace London, and 40 people would just go and cram into this tiny studio and just sit there.
When me and Lonnie had our shitty little garage band, we'd rent studio time there. And then I think Fastlane, we were in a studio that had like all of Typo Negative's like gig boxes from their tour. It all had like the Typo Negative logo all over it, and I would just like throw my garbage in there. Like, fuck this band.
Type FU
big negative shit in Brooklyn. Here's my Doritos bag that I didn't come in. Sean just ate and then put probably paper towels in there. But yeah, so rude. If Peter Steele ever found food waste in his gig boxes, it's this guy.
Good. Fuck him.
Yeah. He's dead now, so he can't do anything to me anyway. Haha. I win.
Wait, he's dead?
Yeah, we killed him, remember?
Oh.
Hashtag RIP a legend.
All right, let's go to our Spotify picks. Every week, we each pick a song, throw it on a playlist, which you can enjoy at your leisure. Search RIP Livecast Music Break on Spotify. We have over 32 hours of music. This week, I picked the new single from Doff. It's, I believe, their first single in like 15 years or some shit like that. They're back together. I was always a fan, always championed the band. And guitarist Eyal Levy is a person that I actually became friends with over time.
Hasn't he been on the show?
Stayed at his house. Yeah,
yes.
He's been on the show.
In fact, he was on a memorable show. But I don't remember necessarily for the content, but I remember that we did it at Frank's house, and it was about 110 degrees on the episode that he was on. And I remember sweltering and trying to do a funny show while I was dying from this heat.
I do remember there was some sort of air conditioning issues at that time. It feels like a millennia ago.
It really does.
But yeah, so they're back and they're doing stuff and they sound better than ever. I think there's some new members in the band, but it sounds great. And still, it's Al and Sean Zatorsky, the singer, is still singing. He's a very underrated metal vocalist, so it's great to hear him screaming again. That's my pick. It's a serious pick, and it's a metal pick this week. It breaks my streak of like 2 or 3 months of electro music.
Back to that next week, though. Promise.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see what I listen. I never know what my pick of the week is. It's just what song captured my ear this week.
Yeah.
What song? And this one was the one for this week because I really am glad to hear that they're back.
What have they been doing?
He's just been producing, and he has this program called Nail the Mix, where he basically
Having sex with Irish people.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds offensive. Bigora, what have we ever done to you?
No, it's a course for production if you want to learn to be a music producer, and every month there's a different lesson with a producer talking about a famous metal song that they produced, and then in addition to getting a lesson from the producer, he offers the raw stems for those tracks so you can see how he produced the song. It's a very cool thing.
I thought you hate stems because you're a weed guy.
Yes, in the context of weeds, stems are bad. In the context of music, stems are good.
What does it mean? What is that?
It's just the raw file, like the guitar track, and
Okay, interesting.
and you see the layered like audio file with all the raw recordings, and you can you just listen to the drum tracks, whatever, or see how the filters and all. I don't know. I'm not a fucking audio producer. I don't know what that voice was. But Darinsky, what was your pick?
Oh, my pick was Chemical Warfare by Slayer. I was listening
very apropos.
Right, that was the whole point. Is I was just listening to Slayer, and then that song popped up, and it instantly triggered me to remember the chemical spill that just happened. So I thought this was a very timely pick. This is early Slayer,
and it's a Dead Kennedys cover, right?
Yeah. Is it? Wait, is it?
I think so.
Dead Kennedy? I didn't know. I was, you know what I was thinking? There's another song on that double EP that's a Judas Priest cover. So I thought maybe you were mixing it up with that, but I did not know that was.
Let me see.
They did Dissident Aggressor on that same release, which is a Judas Priest song.
Actually, maybe it's not. Maybe they just both in the same era had. Maybe they had different Chemical Warfare songs.
There was a lot of Chemical Warfare around that time.
I don't think that.
All right.
Do you still listen to Slayer, Darren? That's interesting.
Yes.
I don't find myself needing to put it on.
I love Slayer.
Consumed it.
It has to be a certain mood that I'm in, but I love Slayer. In fact, the one album I go to with Slayer is "God Hates Us All." That's for some reason has become my new favorite Slayer album, and it wasn't for a while.
From the moment that one came out, it was my favorite. Love that. It's just so relentless.
Yeah, that's so good.
From the moment it came out on September 11th?
It did come out on September 11th, 2001.
I might have gotten an advanced promo because I was at the college radio station then.
No, that's right. Yeah.
That does seem the most punk of their albums, I would say. Closest to punk. It's not punk, obviously, but it's got tendencies in there.
Fantastic.
Dusty Rhodes Muffler says, what about Diabolus in Musica? Musica.
Isn't that
Diabolus?
I do not like. I will say this about that album. I appreciate what they were trying to do. I think they were trying to. They were probably sick of Slayer. They were like, "We got to do." There was their risk or their like.
It wasn't that they were sick of them. It was Jeff Hanneman, like kind of being like, "Hey, we need to like update our sound. Let me write a few things."
Yeah. All right. So
like,
all right.
And
then sick of it is the wrong word, but yeah, they would just a different direction, and it did not work for me. But I know there are some Slayer fans that love that album.
Yeah,
I do not.
That's just the Slayer fans that want to seem like extra hip compared to all the other Slayer fans. Like, we even like the bad album. That's how much of a Slayer fan I am.
Metallica has that shit too. Where they love Saint Anger. Like, come on.
Oh my God, there's this new people are defending Saint Anger now. Like, it was on the Rolling Stone list. They had a list of the 50 worst albums by great bands. And people are like, "How dare you include like it is a
Come on.
like fuck you, Rolling Stone, for including Saint Anger." Like, no, that is their word. Some people were calling out Lulu, but I want to be clear:
That doesn't
Lulu is
count.
not a Metallica release.
Yeah.
That is a
No.
Lou Reed. Lou Reed wrote that album.
And
Wrote the whole thing.
ironically enough, Metallica and Lou Reed are both separately on that list of the worst albums by good musicians, just not for their collaboration. But they are both on there.
Well, yeah, but Saint Anger is most certainly a Metallica release.
Easily,
and
it's easily the worst one, worse than Load or Reload.
It's not just. Well, let me ask you this, just semantically, like that list is the 50 worst albums by good musicians, or the 50 instances of the single worst album by great bands. That would be two different things to me.
Let me see.
Like they picked 50 great bands and showed their worst album, or are these 50 albums the 50 worst of any albums produced by any great band?
Oh yeah. 50 genuinely horrible albums by brilliant artists.
Okay,
so it's not a ranking of the worst by best.
Right.
It's just a collection.
I think it's so that makes more sense to me, because this is easily one of the 50 worst large release albums ever made. I think it's terrible, and I've even come on here and said good things about Saint Anger. Like there are.
Oh, actually, now I'm clicking. I'm sorry to interrupt. Okay. I'm clicking. They are ranked. It is ranked. They are the 50 worst albums ranked by brilliant artists.
So I just think, where is it on the list? I'm just curious.
It's pretty low. It's only like 43. It's 43 on the list.
I mean, I'm sure you can make arguments for everything on there. I'm sure there's a lot of shit.
Yeah. Let's see.
Number one was the Kanye West album, I believe.
Right? Well, yes, Yay by Kanye West. Number 2 was Squeeze by the Velvet Underground. Number 3 was Union by Yes. Number 4 was Metal Magic by Pantera, which I'm like, really? Like, I mean, it's not great, but it's not that bad. It's not as bad as Saint Anger.
But it's close. I think it's not. The thing is, it doesn't like have the extra added shit of the shitty production that Saint Anger has.
Well, also like that Pantera album, wasn't that before all their good albums?
It's glam, basically.
So it's sort of it seems like a different thing to like start out horrible and then get better than to be great and then end up horrible, right? Like it's somehow I think it's more excusable to be Pantera and just eventually find your sound than to be Metallica, who is like hugely successful, and then it's still all of the main players and you just shit the bed.
Right. Like I said, I've said on this show, I have said nice things about Saint Anger. There's certain things I can find in it. I say with a little tweak here, a little something there, this could be a great song. But if you just take it as an album, it's unlistenable. It's unlistenable. Not free.
Not yes. Not yes.
Yes, not.
Yes. Sid, what's your pick?
It's not.
I was rewatching the series High School, which is on Amazon Freevee. It's about Tegan and Sarah's time when they were teenagers. It's based on their book of the same name. It's a really great show, even if you don't give a single fuck about Tegan and Sarah, because it's just kids in the 90s listening to 90s music, getting into relationships and discovering their own personalities and sexualities and all that stuff. And it's just really well done show. But the soundtrack to the show is fantastic. It's just great 90s rock songs. And one of the lesser known ones that they played on there that I love is Tip City by the band The Amps, which is Kim Deal from the Pixies and the Breeders. And it was one of her side project bands. And it was a really great band. And so that's the song that I picked.
So it's Euphoria, but the people are not unlikable.
Yeah, it's a very like grounded, like normal, wholesome for the most part. There's no like nudity or anything outrageous. There's like making out. There's no fucking or anything like that. It's very wholesome rural Canadian kids learning to play acoustic guitar but it's great. It's really, really good. I really liked it. I hope.
What's the point? Oh, Gene's on the line. What's the point of watching a high school show if there's no fucking?
Oh my goodness, Gene.
Well, he wants to be the one doing the fucking of the high school students, as we learned earlier.
Are there any volleyball team scenes?
I
was the coach,
There might not be. I can't remember. There might be some. There's probably gym class at some point. So there might actually be some volleyball scenes.
All right, I may give it a chance. Putting it in my queue as we speak.
And RIP this week, going back to the beginning of the episode, RIP stands for Ranch Invalidates Pizza.
Excellent. And of
Undeniable.
course, before we get out, we want to give a shout out to our top Livecast fans, who, of course, you can be a top Livecast fan by chipping in $10 on the Patreon, patreon.com/RIPLivecast. Darren, you want to do it as Gene Simmons trying to pitch them on this Abbey Road thing?
No, honestly, I wanted you to do it as Peter Steele, because Peter Steele was mentioned today.
Okay.
I bring him back. We'd had enough Gene already.
Okay. Let's see.
Maybe Gene can chime in on a couple.
This Peter Steele reminded Eric and Benjamin and Dan to eat some protein. Peter Steele. Sam, I am. Peter, I am. And Mindy May is kippa. I grew up around people wearing kippas, and I'd rather be living in Massachusetts.
Watch yourself. This is Gene Simmons. Don't be an anti-Semite.
Yeah, it's
Peter.
the day of hate, Peter. Be careful.
Gene Simmons, you underpaid typo negative when we opened for you guys in 1992. Don't get me started. I'm going to throw some cattle decaf on your face. Then I'm going to grab Robert Vampiro by the neck, choke slam him through a kiss casket. Julio likes tacos. Peter likes tacos too, and I'm not talking about Mexican food. I'm talking about the ladies.
Wow.
Yes.
We have something in common. Yes, I don't, but I'm like Uncle Junior. I love the taco, but it's got to be kosher.
Lando Danks. Peter just drinks wine. He doesn't do danks. LaCroix. Peter Steele doesn't like. Corey and Scotty. H. Peter doesn't like H. Peter likes wine. Doug Pigman. Yeah, I am a pig man with the ladies. I'm Peter Steele. Douglas, who are you, Levinson? Who are you? Who are you? You're not in typo negative. You're not in carnivore.
What did I even pronounce that?
Neither are you anymore, Peter. You're not in anything but the ground. Who would have thought?
Hey, guys. It's Josh. Well, hey, it's Peter Steele. Peter Steele.
It's fair.
All right, that's our show.
And shalom to all of my fans out there in Livecast land.
We wish everyone a good Sabbath, Gene.
Good Shabbos, and I will ask my Rebbe to bless every one of you in the audience. Shalom.
Happy Day of Resolve, everyone. As we bid you adieu and see you next week.